Okay, so we're going to simplify trig functions, and we're going to do that by a couple of methods. So we're going to simplify this expression, cotangent theta over cosecant theta, and we're going to do that by recalling that cotangent theta is cosine theta over sine theta, and that cosecant is 1 over sine theta. And then, because I can, when I divide fractions, I take the denominator, I multiply by the reciprocal of the denominator, so I get 1 over sine becomes sine over 1, because it's multiplied, the signs cancel, and I get cosine theta over 1, or just cosine. Here's another one. So we have sine squared theta minus 1 over tangent theta sine theta minus tangent. And what we're supposed to do is factor and simplify. So if you remember, x squared minus 1 can be rewritten as x minus 1, x plus 1, because that's the difference of squares. Well, here we have a difference of squares. So we can write that as sine theta minus 1 times sine theta plus 1. And then here I have a tangent that's common in both terms. Now, on the first term, I take out a tangent, I leave behind a sine. Here, when I take out a tangent, I leave a 1 behind, so sine minus 1. And now I can see that the sine minus 1s in the top and bottom cross off because it's multiply. And I'm left with sine theta plus 1 over tangent theta. And that's where we stop. And then I guess I have one more. We want to look at cosine over 1 plus sine. And we're told to multiply it on top and bottom by 1 minus sine. Okay, and I have fractions. I multiply across the top. Multiply across the bottom, and what I get, this is like 1 plus x times 1 minus x, and that is, we just saw that difference of squares. It's the factored form of difference of squares. So I get 1 minus sine squared. Now, if you look at your formula sheet, you see that you have the identity sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. Now, when you have the formulas, the identities on the sheet, those identities are established. And when they're established, you can treat them like an equation. But when we're establishing them, which is what we do a lot, you can't move things from one side to the other. But I can take the established identity and subtract sine from both sides, or sine squared from both sides, and what you get is that 1 minus sine squared is equal to cosine squared. So here I have 1 minus sine squared, so this is the numerator. I can replace 1 minus sine squared with what it's equal to, cosine squared. And now I can simplify on top and bottom, so the cosine on top cancels one of the cosines on the bottom, and I get 1 minus sine over cosine.